allegedly linked to Erdogan's arch-rival Fethullah Gulen have been arrested. The prosecutor's office in the western city of Izmir saying it ordered the arrest of 57 people. Among those detained this Tuesday, top police officers and senior bureaucrats. Gulen, who now lives in the US, has been accused by the authorities of seeking to overthrow the government. And a few days before Sunday's snap poll, police stormed the headquarters of a media group linked to Gulen. Now we're getting reports of two journalists at an opposition magazine being put behind bars, accused of plotting a coup. I asked our international affairs editor Douglas Herbert if this was to be expected.
Based on the campaign pledges, we heard a lot about pleas for unification of the country, a return to stability from chaos. These initial signs would not indicate or seem to point to conditions that would lead to more stability, perhaps even less. It's a continuation, as you said, of what we saw in the run-up to this weekend's election. We saw the police security forces storming these two TV networks that belong to a group that were seen as close to this arch-rival of Erdogan over the weekend, this exiled cleric now living in the state of Pennsylvania, a man that Erdogan has accused of essentially running a state within a state, a parallel government, a government bent on bringing him down, toppling him. And essentially, in the past 2 years, since late 2013, Recep Tayyip Erdogan has declared an informal war on this man and any of his interests in Turkey, who their very influential interests had often reached right into the police, the judiciary, and we're seeing it now in a vengeance. So we're on that front. We're not seeing signs of perhaps any goodwill right now, if there was going to be any show of that. We're seeing Recep Tayyip Erdogan obviously in a position of strength, flush with victory from the polls, and continuing what we saw in the run-up to the vote. That is going after interests and those who are either outrightly opposed to him or that are seen as being opposed to him, even the semblance of opposition. And on another front, at the very same time, even as these dozens of people have been, including, I'll say, 3 governors in several provinces. But at the same time, we've had a curfew imposed on areas parts of a town in southeastern Turkey, which has been a flashpoint in many respects, where the Kurdish-dominated area of the country. And we're also seeing continuing airstrikes in northern Iraq against the Kurdistan Workers' Party targets, also continuing from what we saw in the lead up to this campaign. So it's business as usual, really. And if anything, we're seeing Erdogan sending a sign that he feels as determined as ever, and as emboldened as ever to follow an agenda that he believes he has a right as the president to follow in returning stability, in quotes, to the country.